Hello, my name is Jasmine and welcome to my channel. So I work as a veterinary surgeon, or if you're American you might say veterinarian, and I also did a bikini bodybuilding show. So a lot of times I see people saying, I want to see someone doing a full-time job as well as bikini prep. Oh, look at these people doing bikini prep, they're influencers, all they do is sit there all day and they get to do bikini prep. It's a lot harder for real people. Why is no one showing it? And I thought, wait a minute, I have a full-time job. I was also doing bikini prep. So let me tell you my experience of doing a full-time job in a healthcare profession in particular, as well as doing bikini prep, because you know it will be a lot harder than it is for someone who works in a job where they're very fortunate enough to have social media as their income, because obviously doing a full-time job as well, you have all those hours already taken up in the day, and you also have to think a lot during the job as well. You also have to move around a lot more as well. So working as a vet was incredibly fun during prep time, because obviously I use my brain a lot, and prep, one thing it does is makes you very tired and really decreases your productivity, because you're not eating enough, you're doing lots of cardio, and you're also not really making a lot of hormones at the time, especially when you get to the last stages. And one thing you really need, you know, for a job like a vet is to actually use your brain a lot and be really on the ball with things. Thankfully nothing bad happened while I was on prep, but it was something that I didn't anticipate when I first started, was how much it would actually affect my job. Also in my job, I'm quite active really, you know, you're always bending down, picking up dogs and put them onto tables, you're bending down the floor to look at other dogs, bigger dogs, you are running around a lot. If a patient's crashing, you have to run, you have to do CPR, you have to move a lot. Even doing things like dentals on dogs, you know, I would do an arm day and then I would be there trying to get a dog's tooth out, and you know, if you've ever heard the phrase pulling teeth, you'll know it's not entirely fun. It can be a lot of work to actually get a tooth out, especially if it's something like a fractured tooth where it's got a healthy root. You really have to put a lot of pressure on. And when you've done an arm day and you haven't really eaten enough and you're just so tired from prep, it was exhausting. I'd go home and my arm would be like throbbing in pain with how much, you know, extra work I'd put on it that day. So it is quite an active job. It is quite a job where you have to get up and down and up and down. You're always sitting or standing or moving. It's not like an office job. So I think that made it quite a bit harder as well to do prep. So if you do work in a sort of more active job and you do prep as well, for example, on my first show I met a firefighter at the back. Debs, if you're watching, yeah, you inspired me massively. I also met a paramedic. Rachel, if you're watching too, then hello. And you know, they inspire me too, because they also have really active jobs, yet they're doing prep, and that makes it a lot harder for sure. So a typical day that I would have in my vet job, I would normally start at around 8:30 in the morning for work, and so I would finish up at the gym at 7 o'clock in the morning, and my sessions were about an hour and a half. So I would wake up, because I had to leave about that sort of time, I would wake up around between 4:30 and 5 to then get to the gym in time to do my workout to then leave on time. That would be just my resistance training, just my weight training, because I had about an hour and a half long workouts. So I'd wake up at average 4:45, get to work at 8:30, and then have a 10-hour working day until 6:30. Then at 6:30 I would leave on time, not that often. I'd probably be working until about 7. Then I would drive to the gym. Then I would do, on average I had 40 minutes of cardio a day, and at one point I had that 7 days a week. So I would drive to the gym, do my 40 minutes of cardio. By the time I get back home from the gym, it would then be 8 p.m, and that's when I would eat my dinner. And of course, if you're getting up at, you know, 4:30, so you need to sleep by 10 p.m. So I'd have about an hour or so in the evening after I've eaten dinner to sit and chill, and then I start thinking about getting ready for bed, start to wind down. Then I'd go to bed, wake up at 4:30 in the morning, and start it all over again the next day. So when you get to those points of prep where you are having an hour and a half long workouts, if that's what your coach does, and you're also doing, you know, I had 40 minutes of cardio and I had to travel to the gym, you do get into a sort of robot-like routine where all you do is gym work. For me, it was gym work, gym sleep, gym work, gym sleep. So the gym became a second home for sure. Work obviously is a big portion of your day, but you really do need to try and catch up on all your sleep and get as much rest as you can, especially when you're on prep and you're so tired and you're so hungry, and you can sort of sleep through the hunger in a way. It's the reality of it, I want to be honest with you. So yeah, you do end up being a bit of a robot, to be honest, but that's something to know going into it, and that's something to realise that if you are working a full-time job, you do have to make that sacrifice. When people want to do things with you in the evening after work, you know, you literally don't have time, you don't have energy, and if you do go, you have to sacrifice sleep, which is probably one of the most important things for your muscle recovery, and for sort of general mental recovery as well, because your body's so tired, it's good to actually try and sleep. So it can be done having a full-time job alongside prep. I did it. I found it incredibly hard. It was very hard mentally to stay focused at work, and it was very hard to be productive. I think in the end I gave so much of my mental energy to making sure that my patients were safe at work, that when I came home there was literally like nothing. Like I was like a zombie by the time I came home, because I'd used all my mental energy at work that day. So just know that it does make it harder, but it is completely achievable. And if you do want to do it, good luck to you, because, you know, I really do admire anyone who's gone through what I've gone through, full-time job with prep, because it was incredibly hard. And I've even said it was actually harder than going through 5 years of vet school, doing my prep and working alongside. But be prepared. If this is something that you really want to do and it's a really strong goal of yours, then you go get it. You know what you need to do now. Crack on and let me know how you get on in the comments below. So nice to see you all. Thank you so much, and take care. Bye bye.